5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space. With news and information on the U.S. manned space program is your host of About Space, David Denault. Thanks for joining me. It was a news story that might have been missed by most of us. The announcement that the ISS, the International Space Station, was open for commercial business. More on that story next on About Space today. Are you ready to fly away on a dream vacation? For cruises and all-inclusive resort vacations, call D&D Cruise and Tours at 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. And see us on Facebook, D&D Cruise and Tours, where your dreams become a reality. The announcement made at NASA headquarters in Washington attracted more than 20 U.S. commercial partner companies. Once again, the Chief Financial Officer of NASA, Jeff DeWitt.
We're announcing the ability for private astronauts to visit the space station on U.S. vehicles and for companies to engage in commercial profit-making activities on the station. This is all building off of our upcoming commercial crew vehicles transporting astronauts, which will be focused resources to land 24 as the first phase in creating a sustainable lunar presence to prepare for future missions to Mars.
The old adage of all good things must come to an end, well, let's hope that's not the case here. The Trump administration says funding for the International Space Station will end in 2025. So besides opening up the ISS for commercial use, what about a holiday in space? Get a pen and paper ready to write down the cost for your trip to space. Here's more from NASA.
Fancy a holiday in space? The International Space Station is now open for business. According to the BBC, NASA will be opening the International Space Station to commercial ventures, including space tourism. Starting 2020, there will be 2 private space missions per year, each for stays of up to 30 days. Travelers will be ferried to the ISS by 2 companies hired by NASA, SpaceX using its Crew Dragon capsule, and Boeing with the Starliner it's currently building. These companies would choose the clients and be responsible for determining crew composition and making sure the private astronauts meet the medical and training requirements for spaceflight. The LA Times reports that apart from a $58 million round-trip ticket, tourists will need to pay $35,000 each day spent at the station. Use of the station's toilets and life support system costs $11,250 per day, while the daily charge for crew supplies such as food, air, and medical supplies is $22,500. The AFP reports the International Space Station isn't owned entirely by NASA, having been built starting in 1998 with Russia. The US, though, paid for and controls most of the orbiter's modules. While NASA had previously banned commercial use of the station, the Russian space agency has long embraced space tourism. In 2001, U.S. businessman Dennis Tito paid Russia $20 million to be the first space tourist on the ISS.
NASA hopes that with innovative vacations in space for just $58 million round trip and $35,000 a day for up to 30 days, well, it would seem that the commercial opportunities for companies to develop products in space would be more beneficial for man on planet Earth and beyond. Join me next week for more on America's return to space and why some medical research can only be done in space. For launch dates and more, see us on Facebook. I'm David Denault, and this has been About Space Today.